I-35 and I-14. There's the deeper pinks right there just north of Belton. That's where you're likely seeing the potential now for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Also there on the north side of Temple. You can see how the winds worked out of Williamson County, and it's on the leading edge of the storm where these winds are coming across now. So if you are in Belton or Temple right now, stay away from windows and get in the center part of your house as these winds continue to move through. Further to the north, we also have a severe thunderstorm warning now here. This one, also in a yellow box, does include the city of Waco, although the threat is closer to the Lot area. And you see the winds aren't as strong on radar with this. That doesn't mean the storm isn't producing them, though. As we switch over to the radar mode there, Caleb, you can see where some of the deeper colors are there just north of Lot. That's likely where we're seeing now the potential for up to quarter-size hail. So that's for those of you in Chilton, over towards Perry, back down towards Marlin as well, where we're seeing the strongest part of this storm. And again, both warnings going until 9:45. So let's go ahead and track the storm that's down there on the leading edge of Bell County real quick, Caleb, and then we can do the one in Falls County. Again, very heavy lightning, heavy rain as well. These storms also carrying a high flooding threat as they are moving through Bell County. So there's all of the lightning right there from Troy back through Temple and Belton, as well as over towards Lott and Perry, Chilton. You're seeing this too.
So these are moving to the north, Josh, I believe at 45. So that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm going to say a 45-mile-per-hour track on this. Give me one sec.
That works. And you can see there that wind now getting a little bit more intense, where we're seeing the light pink as it's approaching Lake Belton. So those of you in Moffett over towards the Lake Belton High School will be seeing the highest wind out of that now on the northwest side of Temple. And again, that'll be moving towards Moffett. We'll put a track on there. Caleb's got that track up. Thank you, Caleb. Troy by around 9:15. Moffett, as I was saying, by 9:15. Sego, which is in Falls County, by 9:21. And Bruceville Eddy closer to 9:24. Eventually could work into McLennan County as well, closer to Lorena by 9:32. That looks like a pretty high corridor of wind right there near 317. Can we get a query on that, Caleb?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and check and see what some of these values are.
And you can see Lake Belton High School right there. So that's where some of the highest wind is likely occurring with this now. Okay, 55.
Yep.
So just on the edge of severe, that can do damage, and that's why the National Weather Service has come out and issued this warning, which again does include the chunk of Bell County that has Temple back over towards Belton and even into Harker Heights in some spots. But the corridor of wind is likely just north of Temple and Belton, crossing Highway 36 at this time near the airport, moving up 317, and that'll be heading even towards Stampede after a while. The good news is this type of storm right here does not tend to produce those big tornadoes. Occasionally when you get winds like this, you can get a little spin up on the edge, but this storm does not look tornadic, which is good news. Still, if you're on the northwest side of Temple right now, you're likely experiencing some very high wind. Caleb, can we pull up the Lake Belton sky cam by chance?
Yeah.
Or if Bailey, if you have that back there,
you might actually, if Bailey can grab that, I think that'd be faster.
That'll work. Again, there's the very heavy rain, the Lake Belton sky cam. There's the heavier rain right there along with the lightning on the north side of Temple. And again, that storm now working north of Temple into Belton. There's the view, Lake Belton getting pummeled right now by heavy rain.
Yep, that's your Syntex Roof Systems camera there from Lake Belton, and the visibility is way low right now.
Way low, a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of wind coming through Belton at this time. And again, this is something you don't want to be caught out in. So if you happen to be thinking, hey, I'm going to go to the grocery store right now, probably not the time to do that with this very heavy rain continuing to fall, along with the lightning and gusty winds rolling right through our highest populated areas there from Temple over through Belton. Not to be lost on that, let's get a check real quick on that northern storm, Caleb, because this one will actually be rolling into some of the Waco suburbs. You can already see some of the lightning with that as well near Chilton, just north of Lott. A lot of lightning with that. And then also some thunderstorm activity just off to the east of Waco. Caleb, can you? Yeah, perfect. That's what I was going to ask you, a track. That works perfect. 917 by Golinda. Rosenthal closer to 922, and Robinson, this will be rolling towards you with the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail by 9:30. What's that wind looking like in the storm, Caleb?
Let's check out those velocities. We'll use the Granger radar site. And like you were saying, Josh, not as pronounced with this particular thunderstorm.
Do we have any hail in it?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that too. So let's see. We got a couple of hail cores out there, and that was one for the storm back in Bell County that you were talking about. But first for this one, Josh, looks like, at least from our algorithm standpoint, talking about some dime-size hail Could we actually be a little bigger back toward Troy, though? We're getting closer to some penny size out there.
Yeah, so thankfully not the massive hail that we can sometimes see this time of year, and that's kind of what's expected. These storms don't have a ton of energy, but they do have a lot of shear today, and that's why we were originally not only looking at the hail and the wind threat, but if the storms were in the right location, the potential for a little bit of spin. Thankfully, these storms are not in the right location, and so instead we're looking at a hail and wind threat now. You can see the coin-size hail there. Let's go back to reflectivity. We'll widen out the view, give a view for folks down the south. We have been watching these storms near Cameron. Looks like they're struggling to get going, and it's only been these two right here over parts of McLennan and Bell County where we have those severe thunderstorm warnings, including Falls County as well, as that is working up from the south to the north. Can we check on the little bottom end of that real quick? Closer to Salado, Caleb?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing weird going on.
We just want to make sure that this isn't doing anything suspicious. So let's check out velocity first.
Not really.
Yeah.
Which is good. We don't want to see that.
Put it into motion there.
Yeah.
It seems benign for the moment.
Good. So our main threat continues to just be the high winds that are rolling through the north side of Bell County. A real quick check on that. Let's see if it's out of the Temple area.
Alrighty, let's see. So fastest velocities, we were saying that was over Lake Belton High School, and it still looks like your brightest colors are going to be just northwest or northeast of Nolanville at this time.
So that's going to be rolling on to Fort Hood, north of Blora. That's good news because there's less population over there. The highest wind we were seeing near Belton, you can see that little quick burst that moved through, and that's what will happen. These storms will produce those bursts, but thankfully that highest wind now looks to have worked north of Lake Belton High School and a little further over. Let's move over towards Oscar and Bell Falls real quick, make sure there's nothing funky with that little query right there. There may be some higher winds on the backside of this now coming into eastern Bell County as well. But thankfully, the core of these storms is now past north of Temple and Belton, so now working into more rural portions of Bell County. We don't want to forget about you, but thankfully it has missed the biggest population centers there, Temple and Belton, and will continue rolling up 317 towards McGregor and Bruceville Eddy. So let's go ahead and let's return you back to programming here for Caleb Chevalier. I'm meteorologist Josh Johns, and thank you. We're going to keep tracking this storm for you, and we'll keep you advised.
Thank you all.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
What do you think this is going to It's got to be right on it.
I was having trouble figuring it out with surface observation.